It's a Renaissance revival house with a lot of square lines.
The morning sun, getting the evening sun. The wide hallways was just, I think, luxurious. The original tile floor was the jewel of the house.
We suddenly heard a loud clap of thunder that was louder and closer than anything we had heard before. And Donna went to one side of the house and I went to the other side of the house. And pretty quickly we started smelling smoke.
7 fire trucks were on Meridian Street. It took 2.5 hours of water to get the fire completely out.
It was a very unusual feeling, standing at the end of the driveway and recognizing that the only stuff we had was the outfit we had on and the things in our pockets. Our neighbors had actually had a much smaller fire, and Michaelis had done their restoration work. And they were gracious in both ways to share the Michaelis contact information with us, but also to let us stay with them.
That was Saturday night. James Porter was here Sunday morning. And just right off the bat, I thought, wow, this is service.
First time I was there after the fire, and it was a mess. Generally, when you have a fire like that, it's kind of concentrated in one area, and there seemed to be in more than one area. The fire department, because of the pitch of the roof, not a really tall attic, couldn't send anybody up there, so they literally created another entrance on the other end of the home and then just took hoses and filled the attic with water.
The plaster was falling out of the ceiling. The water that had been sprayed in the attic was just raining down layer by layer from the attic to the second floor to the first floor, down pooling in the basement. What we were going to experience for the next year, which was to redo everything from the very beginning, and that there was no delicate way to fix a little bit or clean up a little bit, that it was going to be a really widespread project that was going to take a long time.
Their home is an older home, and it's a brick home with concrete block walls on the outside walls with plaster. And it's a very porous material, and it's very hard to dry. There was a lot of water in this house, and it was a slow process to get the home dried out.
Each time we thought we had digested the extent of the damage or the extent of the project, it seemed to evolve more and more. Michaelis did a great job of recognizing the extent of the damage, the extent of what the restoration would require and what the restoration might encompass. And ultimately, to be sure that the insurance company was on board with the conclusions.
Convincing the insurance company of the value of the materials was a bit of a challenge. You don't see these homes every day.
These plaster walls can't be restored once they're completely saturated with smoky water. They need to be replaced. That certain features of the second floor ceiling had to be upgraded to meet modern code standards. Certainly things we wouldn't have known at the time and wouldn't have known ever. But Michaelis recognized those features.
That's probably the most driving force, understanding what damages occurred and what's going to happen to correct that damage. This was a turn-of-the-century home, a very high-end home when it was built, and had a lot of finished products in it that are no longer available. And we had to recreate quite a bit of those.
I think number one, the floor, the plaster in the living room, the crown molding in there, and the master bathroom, replacing to almost exact is what we wanted in those areas.
We are the knowledgeable part of the puzzle that can help navigate this process. And the insurance restoration world, there's processes. Insurance companies have processes, and sometimes it feels like nothing's happening quickly, but it is. There's just a lot. It's a complex situation. There's lots of things happening behind the scenes.
Richard has this group of custom builders, experts. Experts guy comes and makes a mold of the existing crown. I have these awesome appliques in my yoga room. that he made, recreated for me.
The tile floor, we talked with 2 or 3 different manufacturers, and on a level of 1 to 100, the complexity of this floor is probably 110. It was really unique.
Well, I remember posting to my sister with a picture, I got drywall for my birthday. So then that's when it started really looking like a house.
They descended on the house like a swarm of bees.
And then we've got the cabinets going in and the countertops. So it seemed like there was a few weeks where everything was just rush, rush, rush. They just hung all the lights and, all the switches were going on.
A year and a half later, bringing it all back in this restored state.
There wasn't enough room in my driveway or the Weber's driveway to hold all the trucks that were doing things.
With the help of an interior designer and our hard work, the house came together very, very well. It's a showplace. I'm proud of it, and I hope they're proud of it also.
It's absolutely amazing, and I love it. It's beautiful, it's home, it's better than it was before. This is our home forever, our forever home.
I feel really grateful that Michaelis helped us restore this place so that we could feel at home again.